All right, so we've got ourselves a spot of Twitter beef, and if you're familiar with this channel, you'll know how much I enjoy myself some Twitter beef. So before I talk about the Twitter beef, let's read the tweet. So Ali Abdelaziz tweeted this yesterday evening. All at ESPN MMA. You have been banned from talking to any dominance fighters because you have a reporter who's targeting my champions. You need an immediate investigation for corruption today. So look, he's blatantly talking about Ariel Helwani here. Now, let's go back a little bit because these guys have been feuding for about a year. Now, they've been involved in this entanglement. Ariel and Ali have been in this entanglement for about a year. And if I'm honest with you, I don't know how or why it started. I've seen tweets going back and forth between the two of them. But I just don't know what the starting point of this beef was. Now, you can probably, if you go into Twitter and put both of their names in the search bar, you will see a load of different theories from people. I did this yesterday. I wasted a lot of time doing this yesterday, but I couldn't find anything concrete to say this is exactly where it started and this is why it started. So I'm not going to go into that. What I am going to go into is why I think this tweet is fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. And I'll start here. Look. Ali sent this tweet because, in my opinion, because yesterday in the show that Ariel Helwani does with DC, Daniel Cormier, Ariel Helwani basically said that he believes Leon Edwards should fight Gilbert Burns to determine the #1 contender for a title shot against Kamaru Usman. Ali's taken exception to this because Gilbert Burns already was in that position to fight Kamaru for the title, but he couldn't make it this weekend just gone because he got the virus, the Rona. So it's clearly Ali's opinion that because he already had that position, that position should be honoured by the UFC because they had already given him the privilege to fight for the title. So I can understand his logic in that instance. My opinion in this whole kind of scenario when it comes to the welterweight title, I've already said this a couple of times. I believe Leon Edwards has earned a shot at the title. I believe Gilbert Burns was given a shot at the title due to circumstance and convenience, basically. So in my opinion, Leon Edwards should just fight for the title. But I can understand Ariel Helwani's logic because now there is a bit of dispute either way. Like, you can argue the case either way. So what's the best way to settle it? Why not let both of them fight each other? So, okay, I understand. But the reason why I think this tweet is fucking stupid is, firstly, corruption. So for me, corruption is basically when an individual has the power or the financial resources to have a direct influence on a situation or event, right? Ariel Helwani basically saying on his show that he thinks Leon Edwards and Gilbert Burns should fight each other has no sway, weight, or influence on the UFC's decision-making process. For the one solitary reason that is, the same way Ali Abdelaziz is in this entanglement with Ariel Helwani, Ariel Helwani is in a very similar entanglement and beef with Dana White. So nothing that Ariel Helwani says has any influence in the actions that Dana White will be taking today, tomorrow, and in 5 years fucking time. All right? So it's not corruption. And even worse, it has no fucking influence on Dana White and the UFC. So this is a very, 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 very drastic step to take when you actually think about, okay, Ariel Helwani saying this, what impact can or will it have? The only argument you can really make with Ariel Helwani making this or expressing this opinion is it might influence fans of the sport. But when have the UFC ever made a fight just because the fans are saying this is really what we want to see? Like, this weekend just gone is a very good example of it because the fans really wanted to see Jorge Masvidal against Kamaru Usman, and I know they fought each other, but how did that fight end up happening? A late notice replacement. It was meant to be Gilbert Burns because the UFC didn't give a shit about what the fans wanted. They just kind of made a fight where it satisfied their budgets and what they felt they were willing to pay fighters for that fight for the welterweight title. So that's the first point. The second thing is Luke Thomas came out and said, oh, well, at least I'm not the only one. So that obviously means Luke Thomas is also banned from talking to dominance fighters. So another reason why I think this is an extremely stupid move is who the fuck is left? if no one at ESPN can speak to his fighters, if Luke Thomas can't speak to his fighters, all you've got left is what? The Mac Life, MMA junkie, like Schmo. You've got the Schmo. Like who's actually left with the reach of an ESPN or Luke Thomas? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. So you're using your fighters in this kind of collective bargaining tool where it's actually hindering your fighters more than it is kind of benefiting them. You're supposed to be their manager. It doesn't make sense to me at all. Like Frankie Edgar's fighting in August, right? He's going to be fighting Pedro Munhoz in August, and he's a dominance fighter. And he's going to have media obligations, and he's going to want to, you know, it would benefit him to go and speak about what he's been doing over the last kind of few months, and he's going down in weight, and it'll be the first time he's fighting at 135 pounds, and it'll be a good opportunity for him to get his story out there. This is my last run at another title, and I really think I can do it this time. But who's he going to talk to? Who's left? It kind of defies logic. The final point I want to make here about this whole stance that Ali Abdelaziz has just made. ESPN isn't just a leading brand when it comes to creating sporting content. This is the platform that broadcasts all of UFC's events. So you're basically saying that the platform, ESPN, have given the UFC hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, the UFC, in turn, write into their fighters' contracts that you've got media obligations that you need to fulfill as part of us scheduling you into a fight. Now, imagine... so, in this kind of scenario that I'm building up. So, the ESPN have given the UFC all this money. The UFC have said to the fighters, you guys need to do the media obligations that we tell you need to do in promotion for the fight that we're going to book you in for. So imagine if then the fighters or Ali then turns and says, oh, yeah, that's fine, we'll take the fight, but we're not talking to ESPN. The UFC will be like, shut the fuck up. You're not going to talk to the channel that's actually going to be broadcasting the fight that your fighter's fighting on. How, Sway? How? It's fucking idiots, isn't it? Fucking idiots. But yeah, that is the extent of the beef that happened yesterday. Illogical, childish, short-sighted. 3 words that I can use to describe that tweet and that decision and that stance. And that's all The Rock has to say about that. So let me know what you guys think. Put your comments below. Don't be scared to hit the like button. Share this with a friend if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And is that all the promo I need to do about my channel? I think so, yeah. I think that's everything done. So I'll catch you guys next time. See you later.